welcome to Crafting Wellbeing, where we take a creative pause together. I'm Hadriana, and I will be guiding you through completing this project using brush nib pens, marker pens. The pens that I'm going to be using are the Ink Lily pens. You can use any brand that you prefer or you have in your stash. I so happen to be using the Ink Lily pens, and each one of these have got particular numbers that I'll be sharing that I'm using, and they will only relate to this brand. So please just have a look at the colours and either do the same colour that I'm doing with just a different type of shading, or just do a completely different colour, and it's still the same whether it's light or dark, it's still the same. To get the printout of this project, you'll need to come along and join us in the Crafting Wellbeing Facebook group. The link is down below, and you'll be able to download this this image to be able to come along and join in. I have also created a video that accompanies this, so it tells you everything that you'll need in order to complete the whole of the project. So as I was saying, this is the third one of the series, so we've got two other videos. You don't need to do it in the same order, you can do it in any order. So saying it just happens to be the order that we're doing it in terms of the recording. So the colours that I'm going to be using is the blue. So we're going to be doing, I almost forgot to show you, we're going to be colouring in these little flowers. Okay, that's why we're using the blue. And I've been sending out an SOS. If you've been listening to the other ones, you'll know that the only two flowers that I can name are these two. So please, down below, let me know what the others are. So saying the blue one is what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to be using the light 182, and my darker colour is going to be 76. So what we're going to be doing with this one is that we won't do the whole lot together because it's quite a lot of these little flowers. But what I will do is I'll do this one, and these are the same techniques that you'll find from each one of these, and also a little bit of what I'm going to be showing you here. So I'll probably only do these two for the session together, and then go along and all of these are blue and go ahead and finish off the rest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with my lightest colour, and that is the 182. And as I'm going to start off with this one, I am going to not go into that light bit there, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it slightly different maybe. I'm thinking on the fly here. So I'm literally just picking this particular petal, and I've just coloured it all in with the 182, and I've just picked up my 76. I'll put my teeth in next time, shall I? So as I'm picking up the 76, and I'm looking at here, and I'm noticing that this petal is underneath the rose. So because of the way that the red can bleed, I'm literally going to be lightly just doing little dots around that side. Okay, and to work that out is to not press too hard, is to, if I just use my piece of paper, is to, as you're going along and you're not sure of your pressure, just bring your pen slowly towards the page, and as you can see, colours are starting to show, and that's the pressure for you. So I'm just going to go in there again, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 182 to to just soften the edges just slightly. Okay, and that's nice and soft. So now what I'm looking for, to notice I'm not going to worry about where the light is coming from. I'm literally going to be doing this every time. I'm going to be looking at where another object or another petal creates a shadow over the other. And the other thing that I'm going to be looking at is how the shape of the petal is. So really what I want to do is to create some kind of a shape where it's coming up and down. So we've done this bit, and down here, if you think about your hand, down the bottom here is going to be the darkest point, and then up here there'll be a bit more light, and then down again on the other side for the darkness, and the top, because it's light, it will give that dome effect. So down here I'm going to go straight in with the 76 and just do a few flicks this time, right to the edge and flick out. At the edge and just flick out. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm swapped to my 182 and I'm going to go to the edge of the the 76 finishes, because if I go from the bottom it will drag it all out and it will remove all the colouring. That won't matter, we just go over it again. Here I'm just joining it, and if there are any white gaps in there, just hold your pen up and just do swipes like this, so side to side, but not too far, because when you go that way you're pushing the colour back into its space where it started, and all it means is that you'll need to just go over it again. Right, so let's do the next bit. Apologies, that's my laptop doing lots of funny noise there, so apologies if you can hear it. Hopefully it'll stay quiet now. Technology, huh? Oh no, it's not. Right, hopefully that's it. Is it done yet? Typical, isn't it? When you want to do something, it's just flashing all over the place. I think it's done now. So we go back in with the 182. I apologise if you couldn't hear any of that and you think, what is this woman talking about? So I'm just going in on this petal. I'm just going to work my way around this way. Again, I'm going to pick up the 76. And I'm just going to start from there. And sometimes you don't even need to do the blending. Just going to go over there. I think, yeah, let's do that. Let's not worry about the blending for this one. Let's just go in and take the colour, because we can always go back in afterwards. So here I can see that this is going to be cast a shadow over here. I'm going to go in like that. I'm taking my 182 now and I am flicking it the same way like here. And the difference is now is I'm looking at this probably carries it's casting a small little shadow here. So this one, I'm going to take it up a bit higher. Again, I'm going to create the little dome here. So I just put some little dots there, see little strokes. I'm going to do it differently for this one. I'm just bringing it together slightly. I've just swapped over to my 76. Just add in a few more, not too much. I'm going to stop there. Going back in with my 182, I'm going to move on to the next petal. See, I'm just stroking it down. And you'll see me use different ones. I might stroke, I might dot. It's just up to you. I've just changed round now to my darker colour, 76, and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm looking, and I can see that this is straightforward, and I feel that I want to put this one on top of this one here. And that's a decision that you will make. Okay, so I'm going across again now to the next petal, which is the 182. So we're going to use to colour it in the lighter shade of blue. And now I'm going to go in with my darker colour, which is the 76. And again, before I start, I make a decision whether I can see there's a shade in here. I still want here to be darker. So I'm going to start off with the place down here in the middle. And now I'm going to be looking at here. I am going to be doing some little flicks. So put the pen down, the nib down, and just flick it towards you, or turn it the other way or to the side, whatever you feel is comfortable for you to do that motion. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to go on to the next one. I've just picked up my 182 and I'm going to colour it in. Next petal, I'm picking up the 76. Just doing some movement here, and here I can't really see any shading as such of anything sort of creating a shade over it. Could argue that those two are, but I'm just going to put a little bit there. And we're going to do the last petal, which is this one. So I've picked up the 182, my lighter blue, and I'm just going to colour that bit in. Swap around again to my 76, and I'm being mindful again that this is going under this petal and possibly a little bit of that one. These I'm not sure. I feel as if they're side to side rather than on top of each other. Rather than one overlapping the other one. So again, please feel free to turn it round. I'm trying to as much as possible. Not always, I don't always be able to do it, but so that it's not, you don't get too dizzy, because I know I do when it moves around too much. So here, doing the same like we did over here, dot and flick, just the best you can. Right, so I'm now going to look back on it now, where I said that what we would do is we wouldn't put in any additional before. We would, when we've done the other ones, if you've done it together, the other ones together, you'd see that as we went along we would be blending the actual darker colour in with the light colour as we go along. I just chose to do this one differently. I'm choosing this one just because it's just something else to try. So I'm going to actually join these, blend these in now, but it's fine. I want it to be quite obvious. So if you look at the one that I've got here, it is quite obvious that there are those bits where we haven't quite blend them in, but it creates a texture, if you like. So I'm going to be picking up my 76, my darker colour, with my 182. This is going to become now my pickup colour, my the colour that I'm going to be using all the time now to create the shading, my 182. So I'm going to take my 182 nib, brush it against the 76 and your darker colour, and I'm just from the edge bringing it in slightly on both sides and stop. And just going round to do the same. Remember to leave that space in the middle like that. All we're doing is we're bringing those two together just slightly so that we get that dome on the top. Hope you can start to see it on your work, on your artwork. And so okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one. I might do one of those actually as well, because these are the same like this, so that's okay. And then this is slightly different, so I might do one of those. I think I will. So I've gone in with my 182. Remember I said I'm leaving the middle for a moment. Just going to go around this one. As you can see, I am colouring in the whole lot, and I'm going in now with my 182, and I'm going to now first of all look at this side. I could see that these three petals are underneath here, so that these two petals here will be creating a shading or shadow over those parts there. So I will be turning my work round just a little bit so that I can hopefully not be in the way. So I'm going to go here. Said I can see them shadow here, then here, and then I'm going to continue going round. And you notice I didn't start from the inside first, because you don't need to. It's an option. You may prefer to start on the inside, or just a combination as we've been doing before. So now we will do the inside, the center of it, but what we'll do is be careful of not going too far. So I'm literally just going to do all the way around the middle, just small little touches like this, small little flicks. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap it round. I'm going to get my 128, and I'm just going to have a look and just do some pickups where I do want to soften it a little bit. Now remember to try and leave the gap here, because we want it to have this doming effect. Okay, so that's those two flowers. As I said, I'm just going to turn it back round. As I was saying, I'm going to leave the rest of these for you to complete. But what I will do is I'm going to do here, let's see, where am I going to start? Start with the light colour. I'm going to start with a light colour, which is the 182, and I am going to just colour it all in. So I might do some of those so that you can see. Just thought of something that possibly I'm going to finish that off like that. I'm changing around now to my 76, Apologies everyone, that's me thinking out loud. Welcome to my world. So I'm going to now do some shading around these. Now we have to be very mindful of going very small, doing small amounts like we had to around here. So I'm going to start on the base of each one and just flick up slightly like this. I'm just going to go around. And here I'm just going to do a little around this side. Like so. That's it. That's all we need to do for that. You may want to put a little bit on the top like this just to give it that dome little effect. See, I'm just putting a few little dots, and that's that one. What I was thinking is that I will show you another the same technique that we use for the rose. Thinking what we'll do is we'll take the 182 and we're going to colour the whole thing in with the 182. And you may look around and you're thinking there's some parts of it that you're not sure if it is part of the bubbles or the little bubbles, the little flowers here, or if it's part of the leaf. I'm going to colour it in, whether I think it's not, or I'm just going to colour it in. Those flowers are of all different sizes. Like this one looks different, but it's got that bubble effect. It's probably why I said the word bubble. See, I'm literally going around with my 182 and I'm colouring it in. Okay, now I'm going to use the same technique as I did, as we did for the rose. So if you haven't seen that, please pop over there and have a look. I'm going to now look at where I want some of the dark places to be, and this is just a guesstimate, if you like. So you're literally going around and thinking, right, I feel that I want this to be underneath, so I'm just going to put some blue in there, but this time we're going straight in with our lighter colour, our 182, and soften it immediately. So we're not waiting for it to dry and not waiting for it to go all the way around. We're literally going to go in and put, I can see that I want this as a overlap in this one, so I'm going to go in like this. And I'm going to go in and just finish off doing around the edges. And as you can see, I'm literally just lightly going around, swapping around to my 76 in my hand, doing some darker bits, going in with my 182, just swapping it around and softening those bits. And I'm going to go around, swap it around again, my 76, just having a quick scan. Think around here, that looks like it's over top, and this looks like it's all underneath. Go around like that, and possibly like this as well. I'm going to take just swap round to my lighter colour, the 182, and these areas here where I've gone in a bit darker, I'm just using the 182 just to pull it out a bit. I'm going in with my 76 again, just doing that scan, and I'm going to go all this way. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start from the middle. As you can see, I'm literally going from one place, one technique to another. I'm not worrying about, oh, I must do that technique for that one. Just swapped around to my 182. Just as I'm going around, I'm feeling, you know what, I want to use this stroke. So just change around to my 76, and I'm going to go up this side, and you just work your way around. And the best way to think about this is just think about, especially where it's like here and it's not so obvious, just look at where the overlaps are happening. So if I've already identified it as part of the flower by using the blue, the lighter blue, the 182, so all we're doing now is we're just looking for where we see any shading overlaps. So I've just changed around to my 182, soften that out. I'm looking at here and just put a little bit around the edge in there. I hope you can see yours building up in the same way. You can see that I'm literally just swapping and changing. You can go even slower if you want to for yours. Just swapped it around again for my 76. And I'm just thinking that, yeah, that's just a little bit of shade. I don't feel that these two are having any connection. So I'm just going to leave it as that. Just swap around to my 76. Again, I'm just looking, I feel this is going to be on the top. And this bit down the bottom, just swapping around again to my lighter blue, the 182. And just bringing, just always from the edge is what I'm doing, and bringing it up. So again, I'm going to go into here. You can see that these bits are overlapping each other. I am going to start from the inner bit here. I'm going to change to the 182, and and we're just from the edge in here, we're just going to soften it from the edge of where the 76 colour stopped. Swapping it back to my 76, and I'm looking at here and around here, and I'm changing back to my lighter 182 just to soften those edges, and swap around again. Lots of swapping around with the 76 I've got in my hand now. You see, I'm just working my way all the way around that. Just swap back to my lighter blue, my 182, and I'm just pulling out those bits. And finally, I'm looking at where I would want the curves on there. So I'm just doing a bit like that, maybe here as well. And take my 182, my lighter colour, and just soften those bits. And remember, you can go in like here with taking your lighter blue, in my case the 182, and picking up the darker colour, the 76, and just do the same thing. Pick it up and go in where you feel you want to make it darker or more of a shape. Okay. I think that could be one of them as well, I think. And do spend a bit more time having a look at those elements. Thinking I might as well finish it off, huh? Got this far, might as well finish it off. Just picked up, I'm just going to double check that I haven't got any of the the 76 colour in my pen, my nib, and that's because they absorb each other's colour, so we just have to remember to wipe it off. I'm just swapping around to my 76 just to make sure that the colour's been taken off there. And do this even when you finish the project. Just give your each part of the flower and changing your colour before you pack it away. Just make sure that you've done that there. I'm pausing because I'm looking at these and I'm seeing them as leaves, and this one is one of the blue flowers. So again, I'm just going to use the 182, the lighter blue, just to mark the areas where I want to colour in with the blue, the areas I'm focusing on. I can see this, but I'm going to leave it as a leaf. So I'm just going to do the same like I did here. See, I'm just going around these edges. Let's see, I'm just adding the bit of the dark blue, maybe a little dot at the top. Maybe for that one to create the curve. And right now the other thing, lastly, was the middle part. I'm just going to use my darker colour, the 76, to do the centre of the flowers. So I'm just going straight in with the colour. Like this, just looking for where all the dots are. There's a little one in there. And there's one here that I can see. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this session, and what we've done so far, as you can see in the project, we have completed this flower here, the rose and the blue ones. So remember that to get the printout of this particular project to colour along with us is in the Facebook group Crafting Wellbeing. The link is down below, and also the video that accompanies this, so that you can see all the things that you'll need in order to complete this particular project. So thank you for coming along and having a go at doing this. As I said, there's a series of these videos, so do look out for them. The ones that we complete will be in the description below. Okay, so see you soon. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for crafting along with me. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel. You are welcome to join Crafting Wellbeing community on Facebook. The link is down below. Goodbye and see you soon.